With Jeff Pfitzer and myself, Tristan. We've got some news for you on Instagram, which we think Instagram and YouTube are the ones to watch for 2023. But also watch out for TikTok because there's a lot of news on it. But today, Jeff, we've got Instagram, and you're excited about it. Tell me why.
Uh, you know, uh, if you read this article, so there's this article that says what they're focusing on in 2023. It kind of takes some shots at them at first.
It
It talks
does.
about how they lost their identity and they're just copycatters. But as I pointed out, it's the steady Eddie of social apps. And yeah, they're doing a great job of copying. Now Notes is a copycat of Twitter. But they, as we were just talking off air, Adam Mosseri is the trick, I think, to the success of Instagram because he stays out of the news. And although one could argue that Elon, that's why Twitter is going to be successful, I think the people that don't like that controversy, they're going to stick to an Instagram because Adam Mosseri stays. He doesn't get in trouble, right? He's not Elon. He's not Zuckerberg. He's not China.
He's not TikTok. Look,
He's going on.
here's a good point. You have Adam, who is the CEO of Instagram, by the way, and let me show you what Jeff was talking about. Jeff was saying hey, look, there's a mix here when it comes to Instagram because they seem to trying they're looking for their identity because they see TikTok growing so fast and they see YouTube's videos and love and creators are going there and creating more and they're like, well, where do we fit in? We're still the fifth largest most visited website in the world, but I feel like they're still looking for an identity, man. You're right. It's interesting to note that. And look, in that article, he said 2022 was a mixed year for Instagram, with the platform reaching a new milestone in monthly active users, 2 billion. How crazy is that? 2 billion!
Quietly.
Quietly, right? Who knew? While also repeatedly copying TikTok. Yes, they continually did that. And seemingly losing its own identity. And what they mean by that is that when we would go to Instagram originally would be to post pictures, right? It's like really nicely done pictures or filtered pictures and so forth. And now it's become this place that kind of looks like TikTok. So Adam says this is what we're going to focus on. You ready?
Go.
All right. He says, number one. Well, by the way, that's Adam Mosseri. I know, Jeff, you can't see it for some reason. Ecamm sucks, but that's Adam Mosseri. Number one, inspire people to be creative. And that's by adding items like filters to the videos or AR. What they say, and I highlighted it here, it says, pretty sure the crazy features he's referring to actually came from Snapchat. And again,
Yeah.
copying. What do you think when you think of inspire people to be creative? When it comes to that piece, what does that look like to you on Instagram?
Well, I think they're going to need to start going down the AR path, just like Snap is, and more 3D, as it says in the article. So I think I'll tell you what, I think Instagram has found its little zone, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with being a copycatter as long as they just tweak it and make it because it's still a very unique platform. It's still arguably better than TikTok because you can connect with people. You can't on TikTok. I think what Facebook and Instagram need to do a better job of, especially right now, when we have the opportunity to do this, while TikTok's getting kicked in the you know what,
Yeah.
they need to open up their algorithm to intentionally stoke so people can get some virality and gain some traction.
Mm.
You know how much people that sucks people in,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think they can control that, and I don't know why they don't
Well, hold on. You're seeing it happen on Facebook. I mean,
on
look,
Facebook. On
Facebook
Facebook.
all of a sudden is coming out of nowhere the last 2 months and things are going viral again. We're getting engagement on posts. Our followers are actually seeing our posts. They're not being hidden and they're not prioritizing marketing, right? Which is crazy to see. And that's something we need to pay attention to. And here, Jeff, what you're saying, that's their number two, help people discover things they love. right? And I'm just going to read this to you. It says, this is both a major opportunity and a major risk for IG because in order to do this, it needs to shift user behavior away from what they know and love, meaning seeing the latest posts from people and profiles that they've chosen to follow, and into a new TikTok like experience, which is no longer geared around your own curated social graph. I think the article there has a misinterpretation of what Mosseri wants to do because they're seeing it as, well, they need to go the TikTok route. And I'm disagreeing with them on here because you and I are in Facebook daily. And the one thing is that because Instagram and Facebook's algorithm is extremely similar, if not almost alike, right? Alike, is that what they're doing instead is they're saying, well, who do you follow? Who is it that you follow? And based on that, we're going to give you more of the exact same people, but we're also going to use that whole feature that we created was the lookalike audience and find those other similar people and show you those. And we're going to try to balance that out. So I think instead of going the full TikTok route, they're incorporating some of their old things in there. And that's why I think they're going to continue to stay Facebook number 3 and Instagram number 5, if not number 4, because I don't know how Twitter's still number 4. Damn it!
Well, it's in the news, man. I mean, it's funny, and if you scroll down a little bit further too on that particular one, it even says in here, there's a quote, because no one cool uses Facebook anymore. So for everyone listening,
That's kind of true. I hate
if
it.
you use Facebook, you're not cool, evidently. But it also talks about the shift to AR and VR and the platform. It's not the first platform to integrate it in. It's the platform that makes it the most simplified and easy to use. And so really pay attention to that. I guarantee you 2023, we're going to see a ton of AR and VR integration into the social platforms. And that's what you really need to be paying attention to, because those that use those effects are likely going to see their content perform better because it's going to be the new hip thing.
That's true. I agree. Which leads me to number 3, which is spark connection between people. And you can read it here in the article. I'm going to scroll down a little bit just so I can read you the highlighted areas. Jeff, you and I do this very well on social where we connect with people. But Instagram's been looking to feed into this with new additions like notes. And we were talking about notes. And if you're wondering what notes are, we brought it up a couple of times already. You see at the top section of where you're messaging people, this little plus sign above the profile circle. You can add things like this person has here. It says, why is tomorrow Monday? Or finally landing in New York. Just a quick note. And Jeff mentioned that they copied it from Twitter. Just kind of like an update as to what you're doing. And what I think, even though some like this, some don't, I know Jeff's in the middle on it. I think the idea of them pushing the boundaries and testing out little things like that keep Instagram relevant, and it keeps the user saying, oh, what else is Instagram going to test out, even though it may not work. And I think at this point, I want them to test out things because it only shows that they're not scared to fail and go a different route than what TikTok's been testing, right? What do you think, man?
Yeah, totally. And this is a great example of something that they can take advantage of that TikTok does not have. And that's why I think it's important to do. I think some people are going to burn out on this quickly, but I will say I've had more, probably what I would say, meaningful conversations with people that I haven't had a meaningful conversation with on social because of these notes. And so for that, it's already been a success for me.
Yeah, I think it's great. Just ask questions. Don't say,
Yeah.
hey, do you want to buy a house? That's not what you want to use notes for. Just so you know.
Yeah, make it relevant. Make it relevant to what's going on in the world, and yeah, don't be spammy about it. And I don't know that anybody's necessarily looking for an update. That's what your stories are for. Putting finally landed in New York City. I mean, post that to your story. I don't know that that's necessarily belongs in notes, but I don't know that there's a playbook for this. So
Yeah.
test it, play with it, see what gets you some engagement. It might create conversations with people, but again, remember, who are you trying to create conversations with? Don't just go follow the leader on what some influencer is doing. Think about it. If your audience on Instagram is buyers and sellers, for example, and you have a very geographically targeted audience on Instagram, like ask questions that would spark conversation there. That's test it
That's a
out.
great
See what
point.
you.
Like when I put well, I know my audience, right? And so I asked, "What book are you reading?" And I had over 60 responses in a span of about 2 hours, and I was like, "Whoa!" I asked the right question,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
bingo.
And then
Yeah,
I asked another question, and nothing happened. I was like, "Ooh, bad question, wrong question."
yeah, yeah. Same. I've experienced the same. Yeah.
So, last thing here at the end of the article, it says identify your key value propositions. Very similar to what Jeff's saying. Identify your audience and the pain points your offerings address. Then accentuate those through creative native techniques. That means use a lot of what Instagram has built in so that it rewards you for using that. That's what it's saying. And then last paragraph here in terms of discovery, understanding your audience's broader interests and playing into that could get your content displayed in more user feeds. That's what we want, right? Based on the other posts that they engage with, which is exactly what we were saying earlier, by the way. While considering your option for DM connections could also help to enhance your customer relationships in line with their other communications. At the end here, use DM more, man. I don't understand why people don't say, hey, DM me. You have a question? DM me. You want to see this property? DM me. Hey, I'm having an event. DM me. We're having SocialCon and we just switched the date to April 3rd and 4th. DM us for more information, right? Things like that, Jeff. So um, I think Instagram is the place to be along with YouTube for this year.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Thanks for doing daily shots, buddy.
Lots of conversations to come this year. I'm excited to see where it leads, and excited to continue to forge ahead in the social landscape.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? We should mention about as well. This is the first one of the new year. That if you hadn't heard, SocialCon is pushed back April 3rd and 4th. So we're pushing it back from January. We've had a couple issues with the hotel, as well as it just gives us more time as we thought through it. So we're going to make it even more robust, more speakers. We're going to change the layout a little bit, and I'm excited.
Well, what? Let me see if I can zoom it out so people can see our website. Here's SocialCon. There it is. And I'm going to scroll down. It tells you a little bit about us, who's speaking, who they are, their following, so you can see all their following, and then ticket pricing, and then the agenda if you want to click further on that. But that's it. Jeff, have an awesome day 2 of January. On to day 3 tomorrow.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
No, you're not.